You heard it before you saw it. That deep, rumbling growl echoing through your neighborhood on a Saturday morning. Your cereal spoon froze halfway to your mouth as you scrambled to the window, knowing something special was about to cruise past. Maybe it was your neighbor finally firing up his Chevelle, or your uncle rolling in for Sunday dinner in that cherry red Mustang that made your dad secretly jealous. Growing up in the muscle car era meant living with automotive legends. These weren't just cars parked in driveways. They were rolling dreams that made every kid believe in horsepower and freedom. The sound of a big block V8 was better than any alarm clock, and catching a glimpse of one meant your whole day just got brighter. Today we are counting down 15 muscle cars that didn't just turn heads. They made every kid's jaw drop and every teenager start saving quarters for their first car. From the beast that ruled the drag strips to the street fighters that owned Friday nights. These machines defined what it meant to feel powerful on four wheels. But here's what it will get you. Number 7 on our list was so fast that dealers wouldn't even let you test drive it. And wait until you hear about number 3. It was banned from drag strips because owning one was like carrying a racing license in your back pocket. So settle in with your favorite drink, maybe crank up some classic rock, and let's take a ride through the golden age when horsepower was king. Don't forget to subscribe, because we're about to rev up some memories, making you want to hit the road right now. Number 15. Plymouth Road Runner. The Plymouth Road Runner was genius disguised as simplicity. While other manufacturers loaded their cars with luxury options and chrome trim, Plymouth stripped everything down to essentials: big engine, manual transmission, and that unforgettable beep-beep horn from Saturday morning cartoons. Walking up to a Roadrunner felt like meeting your favorite cartoon character in real life. That simple black grille with Roadrunner decals and the knowledge that under the hood sat a 383 or 440 cubic inch monster ready to embarrass cars costing twice as much. The best part? Your average teenager could actually afford one. Plymouth designed the Roadrunner for kids who wanted maximum performance without the luxury price tag. It was the working man's muscle car, and somehow that made it even cooler. Number 14. Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. Nothing said I've arrived quite like a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am with that screaming chicken painted across the hood. This wasn't subtle transportation. This was a rolling statement that you'd rather look cool than blend in, backed by serious horsepower. The Trans Am took everything great about the Firebird and turned it up to 11. Those hood scoops weren't just for show, and when you fired up that 400 or 455 cube engine, the whole neighborhood knew you'd just become the coolest person on the block. Burt Reynolds made it famous in Smokey and the Bandit, but every small town had one guy who owned a black and gold Trans Am and became a local legend just driving to the grocery store. Number 13. Oldsmobile 442. The Oldsmobile 442 proved that even your dad's car brand could build something wicked. Those numbers stood for 4-barrel carburetor, 4-speed transmission, and dual exhaust. Oldsmobile's way of saying, we're done being boring. What made the 442 special was its split personality. During the week, it looked respectable enough for Dad to drive to work. But come Friday night, when that 455 cubic inch big block woke up, it transformed into something that could humble the flashiest Camaro on the strip. The 442 was the sleeper that taught every car enthusiast never to judge a muscle car by its conservative grille. Sometimes the most dangerous predators were the ones that didn't look the part. Number 12. Dodge Charger RT. The Dodge Charger RT was what happened when someone decided a family sedan needed to outrun police helicopters. Those hidden headlights and aggressive fastback roofline made it look like it was doing 100 miles per hour while sitting still, and the 440 Magnum or 426 Hemi under the hood meant it probably could. Every kid who saw one knew they were looking at something special. That distinctive grille looked angry, and the sound when it fired up was pure mechanical fury that made your chest vibrate from 50 feet away. The Charger RT wasn't just transportation, it was automotive intimidation. Other drivers moved out of the left lane because something primal told them a predator was approaching. Number 11. Chevrolet Chevelle SS. The Chevrolet Chevelle SS was the middle child that ended up being everyone's favorite. While the Camaro got attention and the Corvette hogged the spotlight, The Chevelle SS quietly went about being the most well-rounded muscle car ever built. What made the Chevelle special was its perfect proportions. Not too flashy, not too subtle, just the right amount of chrome and stance, and when equipped with the LS 6454, just the right amount of earth-moving torque to make every stoplight a potential drag race. Your friend's older brother probably had one, and riding in that backseat while he wound through the gears was like getting a preview of adulthood. The Chevelle SS promised growing up might actually be pretty cool. Number 10. Ford Mustang Boss 302. The Ford Mustang Boss 302 was Ford's answer to everyone who said the Mustang was more show than go. Named after the Trans Am racing series it dominated, the Boss 302 was a Mustang that went to racing school and graduated with honors. Those side stripes weren't decoration, they were warnings. The front spoiler worked, the rear wing served a purpose, and that 302 engine had been massaged by Ford's racing engineers until it could rev to the moon and back. This wasn't your secretary's Mustang. This was a street-legal race car. Walking up to a Boss 302 felt like approaching a caged animal. When the driver turned the key, it sounded barely contained by traffic laws. But wait until you see what's coming next. The cars we're about to meet didn't just rule the streets. They rewrote the rules of American muscle. Number 9. AMC AMX. The AMC AMX proved the little guy could throw serious punches. While everyone expected muscle from Ford, GM, and Chrysler, AMC shocked the world by building a true two-seat sports car that could embarrass vehicles costing twice as much. The AMX was different from everything else. Only 2 seats meant this was built for one purpose: going fast with your best friend or favorite date riding shotgun. The 390 cubic inch V8 wasn't the biggest engine available, but in a lightweight car, it provided thrills bigger engines couldn't match. Owning an AMX meant joining an exclusive club. AMC only built them for 3 years, making every siding special. Number 8. Buick Grand Sport. Nobody expected Buick to build a legitimate muscle car, which made the Grand Sport even more devastating. While kids argued about Camaros and Mustangs, the smart ones eyed the GS with its understated looks and monster 455 cubic inch engine hiding under the hood. The Grand Sport was the gentleman's muscle car. It had luxury touches for comfortable drives, but when you mashed the accelerator, it transformed into something that could humble any street racer foolish enough to challenge it. Your cool uncle probably had one, and he'd let you sit behind the wheel while parked, knowing someday you'd understand why he chose the Buick over flashier alternatives. Number 7. Plymouth Cuda 446 pack. The Plymouth Cuda 446 pack was so aggressive that dealers were afraid to let customers test drive it. 3 two-barrel carburetors sitting on a 440 cubic inch engine created a combination that turned gasoline into pure violence. And the Cuda's lightweight body sent all that power straight to intimidating every other car on the road. The 6-pack setup wasn't just about horsepower, it was about the experience. Those 6 barrels opening up created sound that was part mechanical symphony, part air raid siren. Every acceleration felt like launching something into orbit. Owning a Cuda 446 pack was like carrying a loaded weapon. The temptation to show off was overwhelming. Number 6. Chevrolet Camaro Z28. The Chevrolet Camaro Z28 was Chevrolet's precision instrument in a world of sledgehammers. While other muscle cars focused on straight-line brutality, the Z28 was designed to handle corners, braking, and acceleration with equal skill. That 302 cubic inch small block wasn't the biggest engine available, but it had been balanced and blueprinted until it could rev like a motorcycle while providing endless power. Combined with suspension components borrowed from Chevrolet's racing program, the Z28 could embarrass cars with much bigger engines. The Z28 attracted drivers who understood real performance came from the total package, not just engine size. Number 5. Dodge Super B. The Dodge Super B was Dodge's answer to the Plymouth Road Runner, but with extra anger management issues. Based on the Coronet platform but stripped down and hopped up, the Super B was designed for making other muscle cars feel inadequate. What made the Superbird special was its no-compromise attitude. While other manufacturers offered luxury options, Dodge gave you bare minimum interior and spent every dollar making the car go faster. The 383 Magnum was standard, but real monsters came with the 446-pack or legendary 426 Hemi. The Superbird attracted drivers who didn't care about comfort. They wanted maximum performance for minimum money. Get ready for this. The next cars didn't just dominate the streets, they became legends people still whisper about in garages. Number 4. Ford Mustang Mach 1. The Ford Mustang Mach 1 took everything great about the original Mustang and dialed it up for the supersonic age. That name wasn't just marketing, it was a promise this Mustang was ready to break the sound barrier, or at least make it seem possible. The Mach 1 looked like it had been designed by aerospace engineers. Those hood scoops were functional, the rear spoiler actually worked, and options ranged from the strong 351 Cleveland to the earth-moving 429 Cobra jet. What separated the Mach 1 from other Mustangs was its serious performance intent. This was a legitimate muscle car wrapped in one of the most beautiful bodies ever created. Number 3. Plymouth Road Runner Superbird. The Plymouth Road Runner Superbird looked like it had landed from another planet. That massive rear wing and extended nose cone weren't just for show. They were functional aerodynamic components designed to make the car unstoppable at 200 miles per hour. NASCAR homologation rules meant Plymouth had to build street versions, and suddenly regular people could own a car that looked like it belonged in outer space. The wing was so tall you could eat lunch under it, but when you fired up that 440 or 426 Hemi, nothing seemed excessive. Owning a Superbird meant accepting you'd never blend into traffic. Every gas station became a car show, every parking lot a photo opportunity. Number 2. Shelby Cobra 427. The Shelby Cobra 427 was what happened when someone decided to put a NASCAR engine into a car weighing as much as a golf cart. Carroll Shelby took Ford's biggest, meanest racing engine and stuffed it into a lightweight British roadster, creating something that bordered on vehicular insanity. The Cobra 427 didn't just accelerate, it teleported. 0 to 60 happened so fast your brain needed time to catch up. The power-to-weight ratio was so extreme that driving one required genuine skill and considerable courage. These weren't cars for Sunday drivers. The Cobra 427 demanded respect and rewarded skill. It was the closest thing to a street-legal race car money could buy. And now, the number one muscle car that made every other performance car look like it was standing still. Number 1. Dodge Challenger RT 426 Hemi. The Dodge Challenger RT 426 Hemi was the ultimate expression of American muscle car philosophy. Take the biggest, most powerful engine ever built and stuff it into the most beautiful body Detroit ever created. The result wasn't just transportation. It was automotive art with a heartbeat heard from 3 blocks away. That 426 Hemi engine was legendary before it ever found its way into a street car. Developed for NASCAR and drag racing, it produced power numbers that seemed fictional. 425 horsepower was the official rating, but everyone knew the real number was much higher. The Challenger's proportions were perfect. Long hood, short deck, wide stance, and aggressive details that looked fast even when parked. It was the muscle car every other manufacturer tried to copy, the one that appeared in bedroom posters and basement workshops. More than specifications and quarter-mile times, the Challenger RT Hemi represented freedom, rebellion, and the belief that bigger was always better. It was the car that made teenage dreams seem possible and adult responsibilities seem optional. Those 15 muscle cars didn't just move people from point A to point B. They moved entire generations to fall in love with American automotive engineering. Every machine represented the best of what we could build when horsepower was the only specification that mattered. From the Plymouth Road Runner's cartoon simplicity to the Challenger Hemi's ultimate expression of power, these cars captured something essential about growing up in the greatest automotive era in American history. They were rolling proof that dreams could have wheels and freedom could be measured in cubic inches. These muscle cars taught us that driving didn't have to be just about getting somewhere. It could be about how you felt getting there. They turned every red light into a starting line and every trip to the store into a potential adventure. Which of these muscle cars still makes your heart race when you hear one fire up? Did we miss any pavement-pounding legends that ruled your neighborhood streets? Share your favorite muscle car memories in the comments. We love hearing about the cars that made you believe in horsepower. If this automotive journey brought back some high-octane memories, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. The muscle car era gave us more than just fast cars. It gave us the soundtrack to the greatest automotive generation ever, and we're just getting started with these trips down memory lane. Thanks for riding along with us, and remember, there's nothing quite like the sound of American muscle waking up the neighborhood on a Saturday morning.